My name is Melissa Williams and I am from Cape Town. I grew up kind of like northern suburbs, Tableview. I moved around a bit. I've been skating now for 20 years, which sounds like the craziest thing ever. I actually started rollerblading because my dad was into it or something. I don't know why, but from like that age I was just hanging out with the boys at the snake run. Like I should have been, I don't know where the girls were or what. I was just there like with the dudes hanging out. When I was like 16, I started getting into like the punk scene and the band scene, and I started like taking photos and writing reviews. And then I started writing for Blunt magazine, so I was like heavily quite involved in the skate scene. It always kind of stayed in the mix, like, you know, I was surfing and playing guitar and playing in bands, and then I decided to go to London. That's when I got to skate all the transition.
Bonus babe.
I actually ended up working for Roadrunner Records, which is like all the big metal bands, like Cradle of Filth, Lamb of God, also Nickelback. I started playing guitar when I was a kid, like the same time when I started skating. And then when I got back from London, there just weren't many drummers around, so I was like, well, I'll just learn how to play drums. And just like in exactly around that time, you know, Justice was hanging out because of KFD. He had this friend Dylan who played guitar, and Justice couldn't play any instruments, so we were just like, okay, just play harmonica or like hit this beer bottle or whatever. And then we would just practice in this safe at the back of Revolution at night, and we just made, you know, this band. Kind of through the years, then, you know, like Adrian Day, he had this band Bilderberg, Motel, and I think their drummer left, so they approached me like one day saying, hey, you know, would you want to come play for us as well? I was playing for both bands for a while, and then Black Lung, the lifestyle got too crazy for me. They like, you know, it was pretty wild years, you know. Like, okay, I think I'm just gonna play for Bilderberg now. So around that same time, my friend Lyndall, she opened a restaurant called Clark's on Bree Street, and she got a mini ramp somehow from Jamie or something. Which is so funny because when I worked at Revolution, my office was next to the Woodstock ramp. And then when I worked with Clark's, then the ramp was there, so I like always had a ramp basically. And the next thing, we just started skating there and hanging out, and things just happened like quite naturally. And the next thing you knew, for the next 3 years, it was basically just loads of parties there and skate comps with bands. That was like the band's pit party, and then each year it just got like more and more, and then it just got to the point where I think we've kind of did everything that we could ever dream of doing, and it was like, shit, how do we get even radder than this? And then we decided to like basically, you know, have one last party. During the pit time, I guess, I don't know, people call it like the DIY ethos. We weren't even following an ethos, we were just doing whatever the hell we wanted to do basically. You know, that idea of hand poke tattoos, we were just like, oh, let's just tattoo each other, you know? Like a lot of it was like homie tattoos and crew tattoos, and it's like you'd go on a skate trip and then you'd all get a tattoo from that trip. I guess it's like a really interesting way to keep memories. You know, like people get tattoos that's like very well designed and thought out and very beautiful, and like that's cool, and like maybe a lot of my tattoos are pretty crap, you know, if you look at it in that regard. But to me, there's like way more feeling and meaning behind it, because like every time I look at it, I think about that person who did it, or I think about that situation we were in, and it just, you know, makes you laugh, or like how ridiculous. Or you show someone and they're like, can't believe you have like a tattoo of a pizza hugging a beer, you know? Like, what are you thinking? Like, I don't know, it made sense at the time, you know. You know, some days I'm like, shit, I wish I didn't have such bad tattoos, but it's like, it's the story of your life, you know. It's like, it's pretty cool and it's pretty unique, and no one else can have that like collection. You know, with not having a mini ramp around to skate, I kind of started skating less because I've never been like a street skater. I haven't really got that kind of tricks. It's not as fun for me. And I started surfing more, and I started doing boxing, and then luckily Vans bought this bowl, which I then started to kind of skate slowly again, but it's quite intimidating because it's quite big. It's pretty crazy to me how girl skating in the world has like exploded recently. It's such a weird trip out of my brain because a whole life that I skated, there were literally no girl skaters. This new thing with Vans is just, it's like another universe. Making the girls section such a big part of it, I think, is amazing. They're weighting it the same, you know, the men's and the women's. And I told one of the girls who wasn't sure if she wanted to skate, was like, if we don't show up, even if we suck, then how's anyone going to know that girls even skate? To have an opportunity where I can actually skate a girl bowl comp in our country is like amazing. It's kind of like a little glimpse of what it could be like to, be pro, or, to get paid to skate or whatever. Because I just hope that, with more girls skating and with all of this happening, that they're like feel more comfortable with trying it and like enjoying themselves doing it,